Eleanor McEvoy. Eleanor McEvoy, born 22 January 1967, is an Irish singer-songwriter. She composed the song Only a Woman's Heart, title track of A Woman's Heart, the best-selling Irish album in Irish history. Early life and beginnings. McEvoy's life as a musician began at the age of 4 when she began playing piano. At the age of 8 she took up violin. Upon finishing school she attended Trinity College, Dublin, where she studied music by day and worked in pit orchestras and music clubs by night. McEvoy graduated from Trinity with an honors degree in music and spent 4 months busking in New York City. In 1988, she was accepted into the RT National Symphony Orchestra, where she spent 4 years before leaving to concentrate on songwriting. Career: 1992–2000. McEvoy built up a following in clubs in Dublin with her three-piece band, Jim Tate on bass, Noel Eccles on drums, and latterly Bill Shanley on guitar. During a solo date in July 1992, she performed a little-known self-penned song, Only a Woman's Heart. Mary Black, of whose band McEvoy was a member, was in the audience and invited her to add the track to an album of Irish female artists. The album was subsequently titled A Woman's Heart, and the track was released as the lead single. A few days before A Woman's Heart was released, Tom Zutaut and R from Geffen Records, who had previously signed Guns N' Roses' Motley Crue, and Eddie Brickell, offered McEvoy a worldwide recording deal after watching her perform at the Baggot Inn in Dublin. The album went on to sell over 750,000 copies in Ireland alone and was, and remains, the biggest-selling Irish album of all time. Eleanor McEvoy, her first album, recorded in Windmill Lane Studios, was released in February 1993, and tours in the United States, Asia, and Europe followed. Back on Irish soil, McEvoy was awarded Best New Artist, Best New Performer, and Best Songwriter awards by the Irish entertainment and music industries. In 2011, Portuguese singer Luís Represas included a version of Go Now from McEvoy's eponymous album on his Recording Reserva special. As she began writing her second album, Tom Zutaut left Geffen Records, and McEvoy was offered and accepted a new deal with Columbia Records US. The new album, What's Following Me, was released in 1996. The single Precious Little became a top -10 radio hit in the United States, giving McEvoy the exposure she needed for a headline tour of the U.S. She was invited to contribute to a number of movie and TV soundtracks. At home, the success of A Woman's Heart continued to overshadow McEvoy's solo work, and fans of the mammoth hit were disappointed with the rock elements of the second album and those that might have identified with her bittersweet lyrics, sensual vocals, and loud guitars turned a blind eye to the album. McEvoy released her third album, Snapshots, in 1999. Her primary goal was to make Snapshots her most song-oriented album to date. Toward that goal, McEvoy teamed up with producer Rupert Hine, who worked with Stevie Nicks, Tina Turner, Susan Vega, and Duncan Sheik, and recorded the album at Rupert's Château de la Tour de Moulin and then in Metropolis Studios in London. The extensive use of drum loops was a complete change in style from her previous work. The album was greeted by rave reviews on both sides of the Atlantic. Her sophisticated voice and compassionate seasoned lyrics make Eleanor McEvoy's album a gem, declared the Boston Globe, while the Sunday Times described it as her strongest album to date, with well-appointed social comment topics. Despite this, a sell-out 24-date tour of the United States accompanied the release of Snapshots in the summer of 1999, followed by the Snapshots Unplugged tour March-April 2000, which culminated in a performance in Boulder, Colorado, accompanied by the E-Town Band, where she duetted with Richard Thompson. Columbia Records had bought her first album, Eleanor McEvoy, from Geffen Records, but had not released it by 2000. Neither What's Following Me, nor Snapshots had enjoyed major chart success, and McEvoy's public perception, particularly in Ireland, was caught in a limbo state between rock and folk, with a woman's heart and its many incarnations still lurking in the back of the minds of the record-buying public. Increasingly, McEvoy started to work on outside projects. The Burt Jansch tribute album People on the Highway of Burt Jansch in 2000 saw a newly recorded version of Jansch's song about Sandy Denny, Where Did My Life Go?, recorded by McEvoy especially for the album. Participating artists included Al Stewart, Roy Harper, Bernard Butler, Donovan, and Ralph McTell. 2001-2005, McEvoy decided to take her fourth album and head down the independent road. YOLO was a turning point in McEvoy's musical direction. Released in 2001, it reflected the acoustic, jazz-influenced style she had developed on stage with Brian Connor. For McEvoy, it was a new departure and one that found favor with music media. Irish Music Press described it as her finest album, a brave rejection of the predictable, musically daring, beautifully atmospheric. International press lauded it as a back-to-basics triumph, beautifully restrained, a classic, and McEvoy's best release to date. Extensive touring throughout the US and the UK followed. In 2002, YOLO was named Record of the Year by Hi-Fi Plus magazine. March 2004 saw the release of Early Hours, produced by McEvoy and Brian Connor. The album featured McEvoy on vocals, guitar and fiddle, Connor on piano, Fender Rhodes, Wurlitzer, Hammond organ, and keyboards, Liam Bradley on kit percussion and backing vocals, Callum McCall on guitars and backing vocals, Nicky Scott on bass, and Lindley Hamilton on trumpets. The style differed from McEvoy's previous work, taking on a jazz/blues feel for many of the songs. Early Hours continued the high-quality audio work that had been established with YOLO. This album was the first to use Timax unique audio imaging technology, mixed in 5.1 surround sound onto multi-channel Super Audio CD SACT. Early Hours was voted Best Contemporary Album 2004-2005 by Irish Music Magazine Readers' Poll. McEvoy continued to tour with Brian Connor until April 2005. She then began performing solo, accompanying herself on bass guitar, electric guitar, mandolin, and violin. 2007-2010. McEvoy's sixth album, Out There, was recorded in the Grange studio in Norfolk and released in early 2007. It was self-penned, self-produced, and featured McEvoy performing all of the instruments, with the exception of a guitar part, unquote, I Love You, unquote, played by Dave Rotheray, formerly of Beautiful South. On track 5, Vigeland's Dream, McEvoy eloquently describes a walk she once took in Vigeland Sculpture Park, which is a part of Frogner Parken, a public park located in the borough of Frogner in Oslo, Norway. McEvoy toured the album extensively in Britain, Ireland, Spain, and Australia throughout 2007 and early 2008. In 2007, Out There brought McEvoy her second Record of the Year award from Hi-Fi Plus magazine. Love Must Be Tough Must Be 404, released 2008, her seventh album, is a departure from previous albums, where all the songs were typically her own. Half of the album features covers of songs originally written and performed by men about women. The lead single, Old, New, Borrowed, and Blue, written by McEvoy and longtime friend Dave Rotheray, Beautiful South/Homespun, is a twist on the jaundiced over-optimism of the standard wedding song. Another track by the duo, The Night May Still Be Young, But I Am Not, is also on the album. In 2008, McEvoy received her third Record of the Year award from Hi-Fi Plus magazine. In 2007, McEvoy was awarded Best Traditional Act at the 7th Annual Big Buzz Awards, which are voted for entirely by the general public. In 2008, McEvoy toured from January to November in the UK, Australia, Spain, Germany, Poland, and Ireland, with additional one-off dates in the Far East and elsewhere in Europe, including an appearance at Glastonbury in June 2008. On 21 November 2008, Easy in Love from the album Love Must Be Tough was released as a single to highlight McEvoy's visit to Uganda on behalf of Oxfam Ireland. McEvoy's album Singled Out was released on 28 September 2008. The album is a compilation of singles taken from McEvoy's four award-winning, independently released albums. Three of the albums, Yola, Out There, and Love Must Be Tough, received the Album of the Year award from Hi-Fi Plus magazine. Early Hours was voted Best Contemporary Album 2004-2005 by Irish Music magazine readers poll. The album includes Did I Hurt You and Isn't It a Little Late from McEvoy's double A-side single, the world's first single to be released on SACT format. Singled Out includes one new song, O Uganda, which was written by McEvoy after her visit to northern Uganda, as part of her support for the work of Oxfam Unwrapped. I'd Rather Go Blonde, released 20 September 2010, is McEvoy's eighth album, and was met with good reviews, including the 5-star review in 2010 Maverick magazine. This absolutely stunning album has been a real find, one of the most compelling female singer-songwriters I've heard in a long time. 2011-2014. Alone, McEvoy's ninth album, released 12 September 2011, is a collection of 12 stripped-down solo numbers. Says McEvoy, there was a time when I was stranded in a long gap between tour dates and, with time to kill, I headed for the peace of the Grange, a small studio tucked away in the Norfolk countryside. The product of those tranquil sessions is an album of incredibly haunting performances, up close, personal, and timeless. This is McEvoy in her most intimate setting, running through the journey of her writing and singing career. If You Leave, Believe. McEvoy's 10th studio album was released 6 May 2013. It features 8 new songs and 4 interpretations, including God Only Knows, True Colors, and Lift the Wings from Riverdance. Said McEvoy, I'd been listening to a lot of 60s albums, Stones, Beatles, Beach Boys, stuff like that, and it was with the spirit of those albums in my musical soul that I entered the studio. Stuff. McEvoy's 11th studio album was released on 21 March 2014. The tracks on the album were compiled to meet the requests from fans for songs they couldn't find elsewhere. McEvoy chose the songs from her collection of single mixes, audiophile tracks, and songs written and performed on other artists' records. McEvoy then went into the studio to record tracks that weren't found in her collection. After all songs were recorded, the entire album was remastered. 2015 present. Only a Woman's Heart. Only a Woman's Heart, written by McEvoy, is the title song of the album A Woman's Heart, which went on to sell over 750,000 copies in Ireland alone and was and remains the biggest-selling Irish album of all time. The song Only a Woman's Heart has been covered by a number of artists, including Emmylou Harris with Mary Black on Black's 1996 album Wonder Child, Phil Coulter on his 2005 album Recollections, French-Canadian singer Isabelle Boulay. Boulay's version appeared on her album De Retour à la Source, which was nominated as one of the 5 finalists for the 2008 Juno Awards for the category Francophone Album of the Year. Les Majors Cantions Dance del Siglo Roman 20 Vol. 11, 2011 and 11. Celtic Woman 2012 album Celtic Woman Believe Only a Woman's Heart also has a page-and-a-half mention in Charles Webb's book New Cardiff. Webb's book, The Graduate, was the basis for the award-winning film The Graduate. 2012 marks the 20th anniversary of A Woman's Heart. The anniversary was celebrated with 4 sold-out performances at the Olympia Theatre in Dublin, Ireland. Eleanor McEvoy, Mary Coughlin, Sharon Shannon, Dolores Keane, Wallis Bird, and Hermione Hennessy were on the bill. Further anniversary concerts are being planned. In April 2012, Kara Murphy produced a documentary entitled Our Woman's Hearts, which explores how a woman's heart came about, why it became so popular, as well as the effect it has had on three generations of women. The documentary is a part of RT Radio 1's series documentary on One. The Secret of Living, written by McEvoy, was released in July 2012 to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the iconic A Woman's Heart. The song is performed by McEvoy, Mary Coughlin, Sharon Shannon, Gemma Hayes, and Hermione Hennessy. In a review from Hot Press, The Secret of Living was described as a classy new single from the A Woman's Heart group. Discography. The Thomas Moore Project Moscadisc Mosc D4015 June 2017 produced by Eleanor McEvoy, recorded and mixed by Kieran Byron, mastered by Tony Cousins at Metropolis Studios, London. Naked Music Moscadisc Mosc D4014 February 2016 produced by Mick O'Gorman, mixed by Kieran Byron, engineered by Dave Williams, mastered by Tony Cousins at Metropolis Studios, London. Stuff Moscadisc Mosc D4111 March 2014 produced by Mick O'Gorman, Eleanor McEvoy and Peter Beckett, mixed by Kieran Byron, mastered by Ian Cooper at Metropolis Studios, except track 11 mastered by Ray Staff. If You Leave, Moscadisc Moscow D4010 March 2013 produced by Eleanor McEvoy and Mick O'Gorman, mixed by Kieran Byron and Mick O'Gorman, mastered by Ian Cooper at Metropolis Studios, front cover by Tim Staffel. Alone Moscadisc Mosc D409 September 2011 produced by Mick O'Gorman, Eleanor McEvoy, recorded by Dave Williams and Kieran Byron, mixed by Kieran Byron and Mick O'Gorman, mastered by Ian Cooper. I'd Rather Go Blonde Moscadisc Mosc D408 September 2010 produced by Mick O'Gorman, Eleanor McEvoy and Peter Beckett, recorded by Kieran Byron, mixed by Ruadri Kushnan, mastered by Ian Cooper. Singled out Moscadisc Mosc D406 September 2009 various producers. Love Must Be Tough Moscadisc Mosc D404 February 2008 produced by Peter Beckett and Mick O'Gorman. Out There Moscadisc Mosc 303 September 2006 produced by Mick O'Gorman and Eleanor McEvoy. Eleanor McEvoy. Early Hours Moscadisc / Market Square MS Moan SAC Dun 128 2004 produced by Brian Connor and Eleanor McEvoy. Eleanor McEvoy Special Edition Market Square MSMC Dun 127 2003 remastered Jeffen album See Below with 4 extra tracks. Produced by Pat Morin. Yola Moscow MSAC Dun 2001 produced by Eleanor McEvoy and Brian Connor. Snapshots Columbia Records CK 494,598.2 1999 produced by Rupert Hine. What's Following Me? Columbia Records 484,233.2 1996 produced by Eleanor McEvoy and Kevin Maloney. Eleanor McEvoy Jeffen Records Jeff/GFD 24,606 1993 produced by Pat Morin. No longer available, replaced by Special Edition See Above. Music in Film and TV, TV, Feature and Independent Films. Television. The HBO series 6 Feet Under featured the song All I Have, written by Caroline Lavel and McEvoy. A Glass Unkissed from the 1996 album What's Following Me appeared in television network ABC popular series Clueless. American network PBS documentary In Our Own Voice features Easy to Lose Hope from McEvoy's 1999 album Snapshots. The song, produced by Rupert Hine, is about murdered journalist Veronica Guerin. All I Have from the 1999 album Snapshots was featured on ABC One Life to Live, a long-running daytime TV soap opera. McEvoy's song Only a Woman's Heart appeared in Irish network RTE popular soap Glenroe. Days Roll by From Early Hours Moscadisc 2004 appears in Fair City, a popular soap about daily life in a Dublin city. Super Audio and Vinyl. McEvoy's fourth album Yola drew favorable attention from the hi-fi press and market as one of the first original titles recorded specifically for SACT. With the collaboration of sound designer Mick O'Gorman, the world's first ever SACT single Did I Hurt You Market Square MSM SACT 114 was released from the same album. To this day, Yola is regarded as a hi-fi industry standard and is used by high-end audio companies to test speakers. Releasing on compact disc, SACT, and vinyl, McEvoy's albums have won many audio awards. Early Hours was the first to use Timex unique audio imaging technology, mixed in 5.1 surround sound onto multi-channel SACT. McEvoy's album Love Must Be Tough was named Album of the Year by Hi-Fi Plus, the prestigious UK publication, and was released on vinyl in August 2008 by Diverse Vinyl in the UK. Books. Naked Music, the Songbook. Naked Music, the Songbook is the first songbook to be published by McEvoy. The publication is a pioneering collaboration between McEvoy and artist Chris Gollin. It includes lyrics and melodies from the songs on McEvoy's 2016 album Naked Music, alongside 24 of Gollin's stunning paintings inspired by the music on the album. Foreword and interviews by Jackie Hayden. ISBN 978-9 576,114-2-9. Other projects. Oxfam, October 2008. At the invitation of Oxfam Ireland, McEvoy visited Uganda. Traveling throughout the Kitgum region of northern Uganda, she experienced firsthand the benefits of Oxfam Ireland Unwrapped, an initiative that sends meaningful presents like clean drinking water, school books, and vegetable gardens to developing countries throughout Africa. This visit provided the inspiration for a new song, O Uganda. Mid-Year's Top 20 album Breathe features McEvoy on 3 tracks, Fallen Angel, Fields of Fire, and Lay My Body Down. McEvoy contributed the Gaelic lyrics on Fallen Angel. The album was produced by Richard Feldman. RTE Concert Orchestra. In 2005, the RTE Concert Orchestra commissioned arrangements for 16 of McEvoy's compositions to be performed at a concert in August 2005 at the National Concert Hall in Dublin. The 60-piece orchestra was conducted by David Brophy and featured, in addition, McEvoy herself, other leading Irish arrangers Johnny Tate, David Brophy, Brian Byan, and Fergus O'Carroll. The sell-out performance formed part of the annual BO Festival, hosted by the National Concert Hall and sponsored by the ESB. The songs, with their new arrangements, were drawn from McEvoy's first 5 albums, incorporating music from Yola and Early Hours, along with many others, including Whisper a Prayer, To the Moon from Pierce Brosnan's The Nephew, Famine from The Gathering, the commemoration of the Irish famine, and of course her contribution to the canon of Irish music standards, Homespun, and Dave Rotheray. In January 2006, McEvoy supported the band Homespun on a British tour in support of their second album, Effortless Cool. During this tour, she also began writing with Dave Rotheray. 3 Rotheray/McEvoy compositions appear on McEvoy's albums, quote, I Love You, unquote, on Out There and The Night May Still Be Young But I Am Not, and Old New Borrowed and Blue on 2008 album Love Must Be Tough. Homespun's third album, Short Stories from East Yorkshire, features 2 Rotheray/McEvoy compositions which are also produced by Dave Rotheray and Eleanor McEvoy, Lover's Chapel and The Driver. The Driver was sung by well-known Irish singer Mary Coughlan. In 2017, Eleanor McEvoy joined with Dave Rotheray's new project Prosecco Socialist, together with Mike Greaves. They released a Christmas single, This Dog's Just for Christmas Not for Life, and an album, Songs from Life Behind Bars, was released on 27 April 2018. The Brewster brothers, John and Rick Brewster, are founding members and major songwriters of the legendary Angels, one of Australia's most successful rock bands. After 3 decades, the Angels remain one of Australia's most loved and respected bands. A few years ago, Rick and John started a new breakaway project, performing acoustically as the Brewster Brothers. Performing at the Port Fairy Folk Festival in Australia, the concert was recorded by the ABC Australia. The show was broadcast on ABC Radio National on 18 May and then again on Sunday 20 May. Due to demand from ABC Australia listeners, Brewster Brothers in concert live at the Port Fairy Folk Festival was released shortly afterwards. Paul Brady at Vicar Street in October 2001. Paul Brady took over Vicar Street, one of the most popular music venues in Dublin, for 23 nights to revisit his entire career. It was a bold move and a great success. Over the course of the month, more than 16,000 people saw the shows. As well as a chance to revisit past material, Paul availed of the opportunity to invite many of the artists he has worked or written with over the last 30 years to come and play. Among them were Bonnie Raitt, Mark Knopfler, Van Morrison, Sinead O'Connor, Curtis Stigers, Maura O'Connell, Mary Black, Ronan Keating, Brian Kennedy, Gavin Friday, Tim O'Brien, Artie McGlynn, the Hothouse Flowers, and many more. McEvoy joined him for Thursday, 12 October. Highlights of the night were Paul and McEvoy singing a duet on You and I, an anti-racism song of Paul's, and Paul's rendition of McEvoy's song Last Seen 9 October. The Great Irish Famine event, the national concert held. McEvoy was commissioned by the Irish government to write a piece about the Irish famine for a concert held in the National Concert Hall in Dublin in 1997. The song was Famine 1848. It is an orchestral piece with vocal parts sung by McEvoy. The event, entitled The Great Irish Famine Event, was held to commemorate the Great Famine of 1845–1852. The song Famine also features on a limited edition version of the album What's Following Me. Columbia Records. Eleanor McEvoy Presents, Wexford Arts Centre. Eleanor McEvoy Presents was a project which was instigated for the reopening of the Wexford Arts Centre for 4 weeks. During the Wexford Festival Opera, McEvoy featured some of her favorite performers of contemporary music. The first show on Friday, 27 October, featured McEvoy herself. During the show, she played a traditional set along with some local Wexford musicians, well-known Wexford uilleann piper Brendan Wickham, Pat Go on accordion, and Niall Lacey on bouzouki. The shows on the following Fridays featured various different artists much admired by her over the years. These included Andy Irvine, Luca Bloom, Caroline Morau, and Oleg Ponemerev. The Wexford Arts Centre places an emphasis on contemporary and emerging Irish and international art and a range of plays, concerts, film, and lectures. The centre is also resident in a preserved heritage site, built in 1760s as a marketplace and assembly halls. The Ballad of Ronnie Drew 2008. The Ballad of Ronnie Drew was a song written by Bono, Edge, Otwo, Simon Carmody, and Robert Hunter, Grateful Dead. It was initially written to include Ronnie Drew, but as his health declined it was altered to be sung by the Irish music fraternity in his honor. It was performed by a number of famous Irish musicians. With popular Irish band Keela as the backing band, other contributors included members of Atwo, the Dubliners Christy Moore, Chris de Burgh, Sinead O'Connor, the Chieftains Mundy, Andrea Corr, Moya Brennan, Paul Brady, Christy Dignam, Duke Special, Ronan Keating, Gavin Friday, Bob Geldof, Glenn Hansard, McEvoy. The single was released on 19 February 2008 and entered the Irish single charts at #2. At the request of Ronnie, all proceeds went to the Irish Cancer Society. Award-winning director John Carney, director of the film, once directed the video for The Ballad of Ronnie Drew. It was filmed over 2 days at Dublin's Windmill Lane Studios in January 2008. Tuesday's Child was spearheaded by Belfast woman Orla Sheehan. It consisted of a CD featuring tracks from a total of 31 performers, including Snow Patrol, Westlife, Ronan Keating, Duke Special, and McEvoy. Each artist donated a track for the Tuesday's Child self-titled double album, which was first launched in Belfast on 8 November 2007 and in Dublin on 7 March 2008. Proceeds of the album went towards helping children in need in 12 countries, including Bolivia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Brazil, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Egypt, Ghana, Grenada, Israel, Moldova, Palestine, and Zimbabwe. Imro McEvoy is chairperson of IMRO, Irish Music Rights Organization. IMRO is a national organization that administers the performing right in copyright music in Ireland on behalf of its members, songwriters, composers and music publishers, and on behalf of the members of the international overseas societies that are affiliated to it. IMRO's function is to collect and distribute royalties arising from the public performance of copyright works. IMRO is a not-for-profit organization. Banana Boat featuring Eleanor McEvoy and renowned Polish a cappella group Banana Boat collaborated to re-record McEvoy's song Little Look from her album Out There. A music video was also made of the song. The debut went straight to the playlist of famed Lista Przewidział programu Trzeciego Polski Radio 3. The video went on to be named Video of the Week by the Contemporary A Cappella Society of America. In 2009, the recording was awarded Collaboration of the Year with an artist from outside Poland in the 2009 Polish Friends of Music Awards. Portrait by Robert Balog on 20 January 2012, a portrait of McEvoy painted by internationally acclaimed artist Robert Balog was hung in the National Concert Hall, Dublin, Ireland. Reverence the music of Bill Whelan. On 17 May 2012, McEvoy was the guest vocalist at the performance of Riverdance, the music of Bill Whelan at the National Concert Hall, Dublin, Ireland. The performance featured the world premiere of the Riverdance Symphonic Suite. National Concert Hall, Dublin in June 2016. The Minister for Arts, Heritage and the Gaeltacht, Heather Humphreys, announced the appointment of McEvoy to the board of the National Concert Hall.